In this video, we're going to go over setting up your Blaze Writer and the things that you will need. Of course, the Blaze Writer, the USB drive that came with the writer, the USB cable that came with the writer as well, and an internet connection. Also important are your computer specs. You want Windows 10 or better, Intel i5 or better, or the AMD equivalent, preferably the Intel 5. Otherwise, there is a chance that the computer cannot support the writer. So now the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and get out your USB drive that came with the writer and put that into the computer. When you do that, then you should get a folder that looks like this with all of the bits and pieces that you will need for the setup of your writer. So now get out your USB cable that came with the writer, turn the writer around, and insert that cable into the client port. It is important that you put it into the port that is marked client. And then plug in your cable into the computer, and then press and hold the on button until the blue light comes on, and then you may release it. Please do not touch any keys while this is happening until you get to the writer's main screen. Now, in this folder that you see here, we're going to go to Windows Mobile Device Center, WMDC. Now, normally back when Windows 10 first came out, this would trigger Windows Mobile Device Center to start up automatically, but that's not happening anymore. So we're going to do it manually. Most people will have a 64-bit computer, so we're going to go to this folder, Windows Mobile Device Center 6.1 64-bit, and double-click. And here's the driver update, AMD 64, and double-click. This will start the installation. If you get a message that that Windows needs to install the .NET files, go ahead and install them. This can take some time, 5 to 10 minutes, and it'll download and then install. Once you click on close, then this will trigger and start installing as you see here. This can also take some time, so you're going to want to let it go through it. It's going to go away for a second and then come up again and start installing again. Once that's complete, you should at this time have a Windows Mobile Device Center icon. You can pull that up and put it on the desktop. Any time that you connect to the client port, then you should get Windows Mobile Device Center. And this is while it's getting ready to start. Turning on my writer now. And then you should see connecting. And for this particular port to work properly, then we want it to say connected with a check mark, just as you see here. If in a different screen it asks you to register, it'll still be green like this, a whole bunch of words on it, and down here it'll have register, setup, and stuff like that. Just click on don't register. You don't need to do anything there. And then you can close this window. Going back to our USB drive, we're going to go here, back to where all of the files are set here, and we're going to click on Blaze Setup. This will install the Writer Sync utility that you will need in order to bring in files from the writer, update the writer, and also your notes so that you can turn those into Teacher. It's very quick and very easy. And you will get an icon that says WriterSync. Double click on it. And if you've got your Windows Mobile Device Center with the connected check mark, then this will come up, WriterSync connection okay. I'm using Impression, so you'll see Impression here, but for you, you will see Blaze. From here, you'll be able to import your jobs. I'm going to select one here. Well, this is all going to be just Steno, so for Blaze writers, they're going to be Steno only, so you'll be able to do a preview. Remember, I'm using the expression, so you'll see translated stuff, but what you'll see here is just Steno. This will be blank, and it'll tell you there is no no text to be seen. To use this also, this preview area, you can click on Print Steno and select Microsoft Print to PDF. Click on OK. I would put it in the desktop. I'm going to use this little quick access area and select desktop. Give it a name and then save. Okay, finish printing the Steno file. We're going to close that. I'm going to minimize this so you can see what it looks like. And so this is what the Steno file you deliver to your teacher will look like. Back in the olden days, this would be paper notes that you would send. So they put them in like what would be a fold of paper. So there's 3 columns here. And your teachers will be able to read your notes and grade you on them. Alright, now back to our WriterSync, or the jump drive that you got. There are a lot of programs on here to help you get what you need from the writer. If something goes wrong, keep this handy in the case that you need to reinstall something. Now we're going to go to drivers. In this folder we have the Impression RT setup. You might just have a RT setup in yours, but we're looking for specifically RT setup. And then we'll double click on that. Click Next. Accept the agreement. Click Next. Next again. And say if you have this already, you probably won't, so you won't get this message. You click on Yes. Install. And then Next. And then I agree. And then Next. And then Install. You probably won't get this message, but go ahead and click on Continue. And then Next. And then Finish. You'll get this DOS screen coming up. It wants to know the number of the available COM port. For you, I want you to type in 1. I'm going to type in 2, so I already have a COM1 on mine. And then you click on OK, and it's going to go through really quick, and then just finish. So now in this area, we want to double check and make sure that our COM port has installed properly. So what you want to do here is right click on your Start button and go to Device Manager, and in this area what you'll see, I need to restart for me, but you won't see this exclamation point, but you're going to see COM1 here, and this is what we want to see in Device Manager, because this is what you will be using in the case that you connect to software at some point. Going back to our CDs, there are programs that you can use here. Remote Display, that will allow you to control the writer from the computer if you need to. Mostly you would get that from tech support if they needed to look at your writer for whatever reason and do some adjustments or whatever. But keep this USB drive handy and safe because you may need it again at some point. I click out of here and I'm going to go back to WriterSync for a second. In WriterSync there are tutorials that you can go through and look at. This will come up. And then also there's the user's guide that you can look through. This is set for Expression because of I'm using the Expression today, but you'll have your Blaze Utilities manual ready for you. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.